as reactions continue to trail the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State and the rising tension over a possible collapse of democracy in Nigeria. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Monday said that democracy in Africa has failed. He criticized a system that facilitates corruption and injustice, where the people in power accumulate wealth illegally while the masses suffer. Obasanjo made the comment at a colloquium in Abuja to mark the 60th birthday of a former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha. Let's take a look.
So if you are talking of democracy failing in Africa, democracy in Africa has failed. And why has it failed? Because it didn't have any in context and in content. It's not Africa.
Normally, they're supposed to declare state of emergency on APC government. They're supposed to declare state of emergency on democracy in Nigeria. Because ever since APC came to power, everything has been going south in Nigeria. Especially these past 2 years, everything has been going south. The only thing these people is good at is making sure that they turn things upside down. Nothing seems to be working in this APC government that we have seen ourselves in this past 2 years. Guys, Obasanjo and people will be finished work for here. They tell truth to power. They told the presidency what they need to hear. Guys, let us watch the video together. When we return, we will continue. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, comment and share. Thank you.
As reactions continue to trail the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State and the rising tension over a possible collapse of democracy in Nigeria, former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Monday said that democracy in Africa has failed. He criticized a system that facilitates corruption and injustice, where the people in power accumulate wealth illegally while the masses suffer. Obasanjo made the comment at a colloquium in Abuja to mark the 60th birthday of a former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha. Let's take a look.
So if you are talking of democracy failing in Africa, democracy in Africa has failed. And why has it failed? Because it didn't have any in context and in content. It's not Africa. It does not have any aspect of our culture, our way of life, what we stand for, what we believe. Ubuntu. I am because we are. It is I am because I can grab. What sort of democracy brings you and you grab everything and then illegally, corruptly, and you say go to court? When you know that even in the court you cannot get justice. Democracy is failing. Democracy is dying.
I am because I can grab. That's what he's saying. The democracy in Africa, that's how they're practicing democracy in Africa. Well, at a panel discussion during the same event, the leader of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, said that Nigeria's democracy is collapsing over the suspension of the Rivers State Governor, Sim Fubara. Peter Obi recalled how former President Olusegun Obasanjo attempted to intervene when the Anambra State House of Assembly impeached him as governor in 2006.
I became a governor to the court when President Obasanjo and Atiku were in government. I did not pay the court one error. I was sitting in my house in the office and the court declared me winner. When the government is not student, it can happen in Nigeria today. When I was being impeached, the president sent people to come and intervene on my behalf. Ken Naman came begging half people not to impeach me. Today, the president impeaches the president. So that is the thing that's going on. Understand? They were begging my house not to impeach me. And they were PDP. I was in Africa. from the court, when court eventually declared me under Ndimba, President Yar'Adua called my phone in London and said, congrats. I said, President, I can't come back because, if I come back, these people, he said, tell me the flight in which you're coming back. And I told him, when I came in the first time, military people came to me at the airport. I couldn't believe it. I took me straight to him. Now the president will ask me not to come back here again. So it's fair. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about how we are going to do it. It's collapsed.
Well, all right. Let me take a reaction from Bayo Nonugayo before I come to you. Well, he wrote on X, I listened multiple times to former Governor Peter Obi's statement in this clip where he claims that democracy has collapsed in Nigeria. His hyperbolic remarks, suited for headlines, have been made without deep reflection and a lack of solid logical foundation. How can a democracy that has strengthened over the past 26 years be said to have collapsed? Only a discontented and disgruntled Peter, who benefits from the very free speech democracy provides, could perceive such a democratic downfall through his lens. If democracy had indeed collapsed, as Peter claims, and we were living under a regime antithetical to democratic principles, he would not have been able to make his comments on Monday at Emeka Ihedioha's colloquium. I will urge him to watch what he says and restrain himself from playing to the gallery. Is this a gag on free speech?
A couple of things. Isn't it just very funny? You see, this democratic thing too is also very funny. I don't think democracy is dying. I just think there's a reign of strong men and their impunity follows them because we don't have checks and balances in the system due to poverty, due to prebendalism, due to many factors, illiteracy as it were. But isn't it shocking today that Mr. Bayo Nonuga, whose paper, The News, called, called state of emergency declared by Obasanjo dead, coup in another name.
Coup
in another name.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what The News. Is it not? And all the things he condemned Obasanjo for, his president that is working for today, he's doing them, and he can't openly condemn them again. So you can see the way tides have changed.
Right.
For him to say, oh, Mr. Peter Obi, he can only talk because there's democracy. We have heard a lot of free speech being stifled. We've talked about Rie. What about the people arrested? What about the lady that said she cursed at President Tinubu and she was picked up? So we had many things like that. But also for Mr. Peter Obi, you see, I keep insisting, the way we have big men in this country that makes it so easy for them to have a winner-takes-all mentality is the problem. I have seen a couple of messages. I'll say, Mr. Peter Obi that is talking as a democracy. When he was governor of Anambra State, he ran the state with also administrator of the local government.
Right.
And I've taken that question to him many times. He's rebutted a little bit, but there were cases in court. So when you look at it across board, there's always a latitude to be able to do these things. The question is, how can we slim down that latitude?
Yes.
Because the same Mr. Peter Obi that said Obasanjo fought for him, when he was impeached, the same Rashidi Adewolu-Ladoja cannot say the same of Obasanjo when Adedibu did impeach him. I know of that incident because I was around Ibadan that period. I know what happened. There was skirmish, there was fights at the parliament in Ibadan that day with a lot of thugs. So the same Obasanjo that was like good to him, Adewolu-Ladoja cannot say that was the same case with him.
All right.
So it's both ways. But the question we should ask is, why is it that men that were once called defenders of democracy, people like Tinubu, are now those against the tenets of democracy today?
Right.
Why is it that men like OBJ, that in their time, they could have done it better, they didn't do it better, they violated those tenets, and now they keep crusaders today. That's what we should fix.
Yes, yesterday we took a story of a former Lagos State Governor, Fashola, who called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a champion of democracy. But it is important that we continue to foster democracy in Nigeria. And to do that, we need strong voices, strong opposition leaders to continue to challenge the government of the day.
So guys, like I said before, we Nigerians, we really need to declare state of emergency on APC, on the government of the day that have not allowed us to breathe. They said let the poor breathe, But these people has not given us a moment of peace. Instead, they are suffocating us and they are still pressing neck join. Anyways, according to Rufai Obasanjo, I don't really have much to say. But do you know, people are not praying that Buhari should happen to us again in Nigeria. This is because what we have seen in the 2 years of President Tinubu. Me, myself, I never knew that anybody will be worse than Buhari. I thought that Buhari will be the worst president that Nigeria has ever had. But I was wrong. That is why that we Nigeria is even seeing Obasanjo as our messiah. We are seeing Obasanjo as a good man. And to an extent, he is better than what we are seeing now. You heard Peter Obi. You heard what he explained that happened to him when he was the governor of Anambra State. Will such a thing happen now? No, because our democracy has been trampled upon. We are celebrating 25 years of unbroken democracy. Is this what we call democracy? Was Fubara not elected? Was he selected? Was he picked? Are they not the one that said that people voted for Fubara? Is he no longer the democratic elected governor of Rivers State? Why removing him? Why hearing from Barrister Kenneth Okonkwo? He said that there is no reason whatsoever, in fact that there is no sign whatsoever to show that Rivers State is in chaos and needed state of emergency. That when they are supposed to declare state of emergency, that they did not do it. When they caught someone who did something bad in Rivers State the day of the election of the local government that Fubara organized, that they couldn't do anything to that person, and the person is walking about freely. So why declaring state of emergency now that since Fubara have moved to obey all the Supreme Court's order? I don't really know where we are going to in this our country. And the one that is making matter worse is that anytime you try to talk about what is happening in the country, they will say that you are demarketing Nigeria. You are demarketing Nigeria. You are demarketing your leader. Why it is the opposite? They are the one demarketing themselves. They are the one living as if that there is no consequence, as if that there is no tomorrow. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You cannot plant cassava and want to harvest yam. There is no way you want to plant corn and say, oh, I want to harvest cassava. It is really not possible. My people, Nigerians, at this moment, we are in God's hand. And I pray that one day, we all will live and see a Nigeria that is working. A Nigeria that there will be equitable distribution of wealth. A Nigeria where our children and our future children will be proud of. A Nigeria where the rule of law will be applicable to all man, not just to a certain class of people. Guys, I will see you in my next video. Please like this video, comment and share, and turn on the post notification so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be the first to get notified. Thank you once more. Please stay safe and have dominion. Bye bye.